Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. This is Courtney, the Marketing Coordinator here at AIM. Today's webinar will be recorded, which means that all agents will be automatically muted so that we can get a quality recording. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, go ahead and put them in the chat box. We'll try to answer them all throughout the webinar. However, if we run out of time, we'll have a member of our team follow up with you. If you haven't already heard, we just unveiled a new agent resource here at AIM, the 2-Minute Minute. The marketing team will be bringing you quick hit ways to talk to more prospects, write more business, and grow your agency. We know that most of our agents do a little bit of everything, so we'll make sure that the vlog has something for everyone. And we'll get you just what you need in 2 minutes. We're posting new videos every Monday and Wednesday, so check out our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube pages to see what you've missed. If you need any help accessing the videos, give us a call at 800-672-7202. So with that, I'll hand it over to Don so that we can get started. Go ahead and take it away, Don.
Thank you, Courtney. Good morning, everyone. Don Erickson here with American Independent Marketing. Today, we're joined by a special guest, Melissa Gwinnap from Medico. And today's topic, Medico's Hospital Indemnity Plan. Good morning, Melissa. How are you?
Good.
I can hear you.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I got you.
Awesome. Good morning. I'm great. How are you guys doing?
We are doing well. It's a nice morning today. It's not frozen over, so we're happy.
I hear you. I live in Iowa, so it's supposed to snow here this week. So.
Oh, yes. 'Tis the season still.
If anybody on is somewhere where it's sunny, don't tell me about it.
Good point. So yeah, the hospital indemnity plan, we have a few, but I really like the way your guys' is designed, and I think your presentation today is going to hit the spot. So
perfect. Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I know it's not easy to find time, guys, as independent agents to get on and learn something new. But really quick, if you're not appointed with Medico, please get with AIM and they can help you get contracted with Medico. It's a simple contract, easy, takes about 5 days and you're good to go. You can sell the product. So really quick, we're just going to kind of go over hospital indemnity. I'm going to go through the basics of the plan, but before I go through the basics of the plan, I really want you guys to know why it's so important to make sure that we are talking to our clients about it, because there's gaps in everything, right? And then as Courtney said, any questions, please feel free to type those in. I am more than happy to answer any questions that you guys might have on the product. I'm an open book, so any questions you might have, just let me know. And then real quick, let's just kind of run through who Medico is, because maybe you're like, who the heck is Medico? So we have been in the business, the insurance industry, since 1930. So we are not new to this market. But the coolest thing about Medico is we're a large company backed by the personal service of a small company. And to me, that's what's important. We have 2 offices. One is in Des Moines, Iowa. The other is in Omaha, Nebraska. When you call into Medico, guys, you get to talk to an actual employee, right? So do your clients. And to me, that's important. We're part of a financially strong and stable organization. We have been rated an A company by AM Best, which is excellent. Why do we talk about that? Because just know at the time your client needs us at claim time, we will be here for them. Okay. All of our employees are committed to helping you and to make your job easy. And we want to make sure you feel respected, your clients feel respected. We literally have a team, agent service team that I would put against anyone in the market. Okay. They are awesome. So really quick, we're going to take a look at the current trends. So Don and I were kind of chatting before we went live, and Don and I have pretty much been in the insurance industry about the same amount of time. He's got me by what, 4 years? 4 years?
Right in there.
So we personally, right, have seen the trends kind of go even, which is really odd. So when I first started in the market, it'll be 24 years, it was Medicare supplement heavy, right? So, but what we're seeing now is all these Medicare Advantage companies coming in, and the trends, and this is even an older trend, but what we're seeing right now is 50% take Medicare supplement, 50% take Medicare Advantage. But one of the things when clients are taking Medicare Advantage plans, yes, they're great. They've got a lot of added benefits, additional benefits for the clients. But one thing, guys, that we need to make sure we're talking to them about is their out-of-pocket maximum. So, Dawn, I think you're unmuted. What's the number one reason clients want Medicare Advantage plans?
Oh, Medicare Advantage over
Yeah.
MedSup or just in general?
Medicare Advantage.
It's the premium,
Right.
zero premium pretty much, but,
Exactly.
you're really limited. I mean, that's, you're hitting the spot. I mean, that's exactly what it is, and there's gaps.
Yep. Absolutely. So your client comes to you, they want Medicare Advantage because they've heard all the TV ads and they've gotten mail, right? And they're like, oh, I really want this plan. It's a $0 premium. I'm not going to have to pay anything for it. Okay. How misleading is that? Because it's not the truth. So out-of-pocket maximums are actually at an all-time high. Where I live, it is $5,600 out of pocket, okay? So what that means for your client is they're gonna have to pay $5,600 before anything is covered. And what I like to talk about is the average 65-year-old couple, okay, only has about $6,000 in go-to savings. When I'm talking about go-to savings, I'm talking about a rainy day fund, right? This isn't investments, retirement. It's not any, thing that they worked for. It's just money laying around that might be for a rainy day. So if you are selling your clients a Medicare Advantage plan, it is so important to make sure that you are talking about their out-of-pocket maximums and saying, okay, Mr. Erickson, in your area, if you take this, regional PPO, you're gonna pay $9,226 out of pocket before anything's covered, okay? Because if we don't talk about it, they don't know it, and really what unexpected healthcare costs does to people is crazy. So this was actually a survey that was done, and it was done by the T.H. Chan School. They're part of Harvard, right? So they do a lot of surveys, but this was 2,000 adults nationwide. And out of these 2,000 adults nationwide, an unexpected healthcare cost really can damage them financially, okay? So 44% of these people had to set up health payment plans, right? Who wants to do that? 42% spent all of that go-to savings. They had to just wipe it out to pay for their health care bills. 27% were unable to afford necessities. I'm talking gas bills, mortgage, car payments, groceries, okay? Sadly, 23% had to take on additional credit card debt. We all know this country doesn't need any more of that. And even more sad is 7% of these 2,000 people had to declare bankruptcy, okay? Why do I talk about this and why do I think it's important? Because it is our job as insurance agents to make sure that our clients are covered, okay? So the plan that we're going to talk about today is the hospital indemnity plan, and you can really help your clients financially. So two things, guys, you might not realize. When you signed up to be an insurance agent, you're more than just an insurance agent. I always tell agents you're more important than your client's doctor, okay? Why? Because you're in charge of their finances, and that is very important. Also, you're in charge of their health care. You need to make sure that they are getting the correct plan they need. They have the, hospital indemnity to help fill those gaps. They have cancer insurance. So not only are you an agent, okay, you're their teacher. Now it's you get to educate them. How many times has this happened? You've been on a turning 65 appointment and they're so excited they're finally going on Medicare just to come out and find, crap, not everything's covered. I thought everything would be covered because that's what they tell me, right? Dawn, happens all the time, right? So it's important. Yeah, exactly. So it's important to make sure that we're educating them, okay? Now you're also their HR director. Whether you like it or not, they are looking at you for their health care and saying, okay, what should I do? Tell me what to do. They want you to tell them what to do, okay? So just a few basics on the Medico hospital indemnity. It's just not for your Medicare Advantage clients. You can sell this to a Medicare supplement client. you can sell this to anyone, ages 18 to 85. Okay, so 18 to 85, maybe it's somebody who doesn't have insurance at all. Maybe it's somebody who, like myself, I have employer coverage through my husband's employer. He works for the Iowa Department of Transportation, but I also own this policy because I know how important it is to make sure that I have help if I need it. Okay, no attained age premium adjustments. So what that means for your clients is we don't raise the rates just because they age up. Okay, that has nothing to do with it. Their premium stays the same no matter how old they are. The only time that they would have a premium increase is if we did a statewide increase. Just to give you a little bit of information, we have never done a rate increase. We actually did a 19% decrease on this policy in 2019. Not only did we give it to new customers, but we gave that decrease to all of our existing customers. Okay, so to me, that's important. There's no policy fee. They don't have to pay a policy fee. And then additionally, Medico has what we call a household discount. So we've all heard, and we all know, if you live with somebody else who's an adult over the age of 18, if you're sick and you're not feeling good, they're going to be nagging at you, right? So Medico's household discount says all your client has to do is live with another individual over the age of 18, and we automatically give them a 7% household discount, okay? So all of the states that are up here in blue is where this product is offered. So you can see it's about 39 states. So the base benefits, we're gonna talk about that. So the base benefits are, everything on this screen is automatically included in the plan, okay? So if they purchase a plan, they automatically get inpatient hospital confinement. They automatically get observation unit benefit. They automatically get an emergency room benefit. They get transportation and lodging benefit, and also inpatient mental health. So I'm going to go through each one of these, but when we talk about the base policy, I want you to remember this is what the base policy is, okay? So the very first benefit is if they go inpatient into the hospital, they have to choose, okay? How much do they want Medico to pay per day and for how many days, okay? And the average where I'm from, if a client goes into the hospital with a Medicare Advantage plan, they have to pay $350 per day for the first 6 days, okay? You do the math. If I am paying $350 a day for 6 days, I better be on a beach somewhere and not in the hospital, okay? So I don't want that, and neither does your client. So what Medico does is we pay day 1 of inpatient hospital confinement. They can choose, do they want Medico to pay for 3 days of hospital confinement? We also have 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days, 21 and 31 days. Now, how much we pay is up to the client, okay? Do they want Medico to pay anywhere from $100 a day all the way up to $600 a day? And they can increase that in $25 increments, okay? So if you have somebody who has $350, maybe you want to sell them $375 or $400 just to help offset if there's any changes come that next AEP. But again, you can increase it in $25 increments. This is the only benefit that they have to choose in the base policy. The rest is included. So the benefits that are included that they automatically get is observation unit. You guys have probably heard the issues that we're having with the hospitals and Medicare right now. Your client might think they've been admitted, but they're in observation, okay? At Medico, if they're in observation, we don't care. We pay 100% of their inpatient confinement, okay? Up to 6 days per calendar year. Now, we do have some competitors who say that they need to be there at least 6 to 12 hours. Medico doesn't care. If they're there for 2 hours, we'll pay that full benefit. Emergency room. If your client goes into the emergency room, we will pay them. We will pay them $150 per emergency room visit, up to 4 visits per calendar year. Now, they don't have to be admitted. This just does have to be due to an injury or an accident, okay? It doesn't include sickness. So it's $150 up to 4 visits per calendar year. Again, built right into the base plan. The next benefit that's automatically included is transportation and lodging, okay? If you have a client who has to go 50 miles from their residence to receive inpatient treatment, Medico will pay them an additional $100 a day up to 10 days per calendar year. What does that help pay for? Maybe a loved one's hotel room, maybe parking garage fees, gas money, food money. Medico doesn't care. As long as they're inpatient 50 miles or more from their residence, we will pay them to be there, okay? Also, we keep hearing that inpatient mental health is just on a rise, because it is. So built in the base plan, if the client has to go inpatient due to mental health, we will pay them $175 a day up to 7 days per calendar year for mental health. So that's the base plan. Again, only one benefit they have to choose from, and that is they just have to tell you how much they want Medico to pay per day in the hospital and for how many days, okay? Sorry if you can hear my dog barking. Apparently somebody's walking by. So
that's one of those people that we mute on the.
Yeah, I know. Can you want me to mute myself? I'm like, shut up. Okay. So
Nice.
that's the base plan. And then really quick, one other thing I just want to touch base on. I'm going to go back to that inpatient hospital confinement benefit. Your clients can use that multiple times each year, okay? So hang on one second. Oh my goodness, I am so very sorry. Somebody was at my door delivering flowers. So, wow, okay, I apologize. That doesn't happen.
It's okay.
So, my mom's been sick and she's in the hospital, and obviously somebody sent me flowers and my dog was freaking out. So, anyway, I apologize. So, anyway, besides the base plan, we have 7 different riders that the clients can choose from. Now, is every client going to buy every rider? No, they're not, and that's okay, right? But what's not okay, guys, is we're not talking about these, because we need to let our clients choose, or maybe you know what their plan looks like and you know what riders they need. So the very first rider is Medico's #1 sold rider. And I always say it's probably because it's cheaper than Starbucks coffee, okay? So this rider is the ambulance rider. So if your clients, oh, you know what? I forgot the confinement benefit period. Okay, I'm gonna take a step back on. So the inpatient benefit, your clients can use the inpatient benefit multiple times per year. It's just not one hospitalization and done. They can use it every 60 days. So if they go into the hospital, they're discharged, they're carefree for 60 days, Medico resets that full benefit back to them, whether it's 3 days, 6 days, 10, 31, whatever they choose. And this, so I used to say in a perfect world, but it's really not in a perfect world. They can use it up to 6 times per calendar year, okay?
That's the ambulance?
So, sorry.
Or is that what you're talking about?
No, for the inpatient benefit. So I'm going all, I think I was talking about that before I got interrupted. I'm going back to the inpatient hospitalization benefit. They can use that multiple times per calendar year. Okay. Clear as mud.
Yep. Upstream.
Now we're going to talk about ambulance. So the ambulance rider is the first rider, Medico's #1 sold rider. What this pays for is $250 per ride, up to 4 rides per calendar year. Now this helps pay for ground, air, and water transportation, okay? So anytime that the clients call 911, chances are the ambulance is coming in, they're taking them, right? So we'll pay $250 up to 4 rides per calendar year. We do have a lifetime maximum of 10 ambulance rides. If the client unfortunately has to take 10 ambulance rides and Medico paid for all 10, we will cancel their rider, but we will not collect the premium anymore, okay? So the next rider that I like to call the buy one, get one free rider, because it helps me remember, the buy one portion is outpatient therapy. So if somebody needs outpatient physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, Medico will pay. What we will pay is $50 per therapy visit, up to either 15 or 30 visits. just really quick, guys, sell 30. It's less than 80 cents a month, okay? So for 80 cents a month, they can get 15 additional days. And, you know, once we're dealing with the senior market, it's not about if, it's when and how many times, right? So we all know that. And then the get one portion is the chiropractic benefit. So if you have somebody who goes to the chiropractor, and it doesn't matter what they're going to the chiropractor for, maybe it's a manual adjustment, a manipulation of the spine, whatever the case may be, it's $50 up to 5 chiropractic visits per calendar year, okay? So the next rider is skilled nursing, and we all know that this is just on a rise, right? So skilled nursing is Medicare usually pays the first 20 days, right? Then after that, your clients have to pay. Well, if they have Medico's rider, we pay days 1 through 50. Even though Medicare is paying days 1 through 20, we do not care, so are we, okay? And what we pay is up to the client. Is it $100, $150, or $200 per day? We pay days 1 through 50. Now, if your client goes into the skilled nursing and they're discharged, and as long as they're carefree for 180 days, they will restore that skilled nursing one more time. Okay, so they potentially could use the skilled nursing benefit twice in the life of the policy. The lump sum cancer rider. So one of the things that I always like to talk about as insurance agents, we know people need health insurance. We know people need life insurance. We know they need car insurance, mortgage insurance, all of that. But the thing that we don't think about is that ugly C word called cancer, okay? So everyone should own a cancer policy of some type, because cancer doesn't care how old you are. It doesn't care what you've got going on in your life. It doesn't care how busy you are or how important you are, right? It doesn't care. And the statistics are at an all-time high, and you guys know that. So what this policy, or what this rider does, is it allows the clients to, if they're diagnosed with internal cancer or malignant melanoma, we will pay them a lump sum benefit. They can choose. Do they want Medico to pay them $1,000, $2,500, $5,000, $7,500, or $10,000? Again, we don't care what, as long as it's, you know, internal cancer or malignant melanoma. We don't care what they do with that money. Maybe it's a bad diagnosis and they want to take their family on a trip. Maybe it's for wigs. Maybe it's for experimental treatment. We do not care, okay? This rider is very important. The last rider, or not, it's actually not the last, but the second to last rider we're going to talk about is the lump sum hospital confinement benefit rider. What this rider says is it will pay your client an additional $250, $500, or $750 if they are confined inpatient into the hospital. So not only do we pay the base plan of what they've chose, but this will pay them additional money. I have agents ask all the time, why would somebody buy this? Well, maybe they have those four-legged furry friends that you guys heard barking in my background, right? If I go to the hospital, I have to board them. I have to pay somebody to come take care of them. They can't take care of themselves, right? So that's what that money is for. It's just additional money that goes into their pocket for anything they might need while they're in the hospital, okay?
Just an indemnity, correct? Is that just an indemnity? They can use whatever they need to board animals or whatever they,
Yep.
Have someone take care of their stuff. Yep.
Full amount.
Exactly.
Everything on this is indemnity. So if they choose $350 a day and they're only charged $250 a day, we don't care. We're paying $350, okay? So the urgent care rider never fails at my house. Somebody's sick as soon as the doctor's office closes, right? And also, in every big city, there's urgent cares everywhere, including our supermarkets, right? So if somebody has to go to urgent care and they have this rider, we'll pay for 4 urgent care visits up to $50 per visit per calendar year, okay? And then the last rider is also very important because, as we know, there's a lot of surgeries that take place that are outpatient these days, okay? So the outpatient surgery benefit rider, basically, we will pay for 2 outpatient surgeries per calendar year. What we pay is up to your client. Do they want $250, $500, $750, or $1,000 per surgery? Okay, just has to be outpatient. It cannot be inpatient surgery. Let's talk about underwriting. Okay, so we're going to talk about underwriting, and then we're going to talk about pricing, because this policy is super cheap. Okay, and I don't even like to say that, but for what your client gets, it's definitely worth the cost. Okay, so one thing I want to point out, guys, if you're dealing with anybody between the ages of 64 and 67, everyone automatically gets a policy. There's 0 health questions asked. Okay, so this is guaranteed issue.
I'm sorry. I was going to just say, before you started the slide, there was a question about guarantee issue periods. And I mean, sure. I was like, this is perfect. I was like, you hit it on the head right here.
Yes. So whoever asked that question, anyone ages 64 to 67 automatically get a plan. Okay. Now, if you have somebody ages 18 to 63 or 68 to 85, there's 9 simple knockout health questions. Okay. We don't do a telephone interview. We don't do a prescription drug screen. We rely on them to say yes or no for their health questions. If they say yes to one of these health questions, they are automatically declined, okay? And it will tell you if they answer yes, they're automatically declined. Now, if they answer no, they're good to go, okay? So it's simplified, it's easy, okay? So the questions are, now again, this is only for people 18 to 63 or 68 to 85. And the one health question that I always giggle about is not on this screen, but you can definitely tell somebody in sales came up with it because it's kind of an icebreaker, especially if you're dealing with a senior or your client's a male, right? The first question is, are you pregnant or undergoing infertility treatment? So that's the number 1 question on the application, okay? So yes, you could hear Don chuckle, and that's what happens, okay? Your clients, they chuckle. They're like, ha ha, yeah, right, okay? So then the other questions, we only want to know in the last 12 months, have they used oxygen? Have they been treated for Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, MS, COPD? Are they an insulin-dependent diabetic? If they are, as long as they don't take more than 50 units of insulin per day, they qualify. Okay, but if they're taking more than 50 units, we will not accept them. Or if they're taking more than 3 oral diabetic medications each day, we will not accept them. Okay, so that's an automatic knockout. Then in the last 12 months, this is huge, especially for that cancer rider, guys. We only ask in the last 12 months, have they been diagnosed for heart attack, stroke, or cancer? So what that means is if they've been diagnosed with cancer or they've been treated for cancer and it's been, more than 12 months, they qualify for that rider, okay? Wow. So if you have cancer survivors and it's been over 12 months, they can buy the cancer rider. Massive. That's huge, right?
That is so big. I mean, that's amazing that that's even offered like that. Yeah. I mean, that could be a seller by itself. I mean, just
absolutely. Absolutely, it is. And guys, by the way, it costs less than a McDonald's value meal, and we'll talk about that, okay? I usually say it's less than a McDonald's value meal that we're eating that's giving us the cancer.
I love the way you put things. I mean, it puts it in perspective, really. I mean, it's like,
it really does.
A Starbucks coffee, hello, a McDonald's. I mean, it's just, that's how people can realize it doesn't cost that much for what you get. It's so valuable.
And the thing is, Americans, we don't think twice about going through fast food. We don't think twice about going through Starbucks. But when it comes to insurance, we think twice about it. Why? I don't understand. So that's why I talk like that, because it's true. And that's how you can connect with your clients. So then we want to know if they've been on dialysis treatment. If they're on dialysis treatment and they're outside of the guarantee issue period, it's a decline. Okay. So with all of that being said, and even including our clients in the guarantee issue period, Medico says that there's a 6-month pre-existing condition limitation on this policy. So what does that mean? So I use myself, okay, because I own this policy. I told you I own this policy. I have asthma. I've had asthma since I was born, okay, so since I was a child, and they actually diagnosed it. So when I bought this policy, if I would have had an asthma attack within that 6-month window, Medico wouldn't have paid me, okay? Now that I'm outside my 6-month window, they will pay me, not question a thing, as many times as I need to, knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't happen, if I had to go into the hospital because I had an asthma attack, okay? Or they will pay me as many times as needed after 6 months, okay? So if you have a client who's shopping at Walmart and they fall off of a curb, or they, they break a hip, they break an ankle, or, they simply just tweak something and have to go in, that's covered. That's not pre-existing, okay? So it's anything pre-existing.
Yeah, and I do have a question too on this. Yeah, I do have a question when you're done with that too.
No, go for it.
So yeah, one of the agents had asked, are medications considered treatment for cancer, heart attack, or stroke?
They are not. It is physical chemotherapy. So, and I'm guessing where this question is coming is probably a breast cancer survivor, I would imagine. So tamoxifen is not considered treatment, if that's what the agent was wondering. Okay.
Okay.
And like
and
stroke,
then diabetes,
heart attack.
It's like, yeah, the 12, I'll continue on that first.
Yeah, it's like, the heart attack, stroke. It's not like we're going to say, okay, because you're taking blood pressure medication or cholesterol medication, we're going to decline you. We would decline everybody in the United States, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. Yep, 90%.
Right.
It's just true. Yeah. It's just where it is. It's
unfortunately
terrible.
It's sad but true, because we're eating McDonald's, Don.
Yeah. There you go.
So then
you can name it. It's bad for you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. So then outside of that 6 month, and this is where I was going to go with you, Don, do your clients always tell you the truth about their health?
Not that I'm aware of. They like to hide everything until you actually take the application or the application goes in. I swear by pre-qualing everybody. I said, let's do a pre-qual. Let's see what you can go for. Because we're here to help the agent. They're here to help the client. But if we're just spinning wheels, it's not helping anybody.
Exactly. So there's a 2-year contestability in the people who have to go through underwriting. So anyone ages 18 to 63 and then 68 to 85. So what the 2-year contestability says, okay, Don, you're my agent, and I'm going to knock on wood again because this isn't true, but this happens, okay? Don, you're my friend. I went to the doctor. I was recently diagnosed with COPD. But I don't believe it, okay? I don't believe that I was diagnosed with COPD, and I also don't want you to know because we're friends, okay? And I really don't want you to know because I just don't believe it, okay? This happens all the time, guys. So what that says, the 2-year contestability period, if your client goes into the hospital within the first 2 years of having this policy and Medico sees a pre-existing diagnosis of COPD, we can and will order medical records. And if we find out, you know what, Melissa, you had COPD and you answered no to question 5A, and you really should have answered yes, Medico will resend the policy. If there's a positive, the only positive on it is we do refund 100% of their premiums paid, okay? I just want you to know it doesn't happen very often, but I have seen some cases where the client just didn't answer the health question correctly, okay? Just so we're clear. I like to be clear. All right. Yeah. So
the biggest thing is just going through the questions and making sure they answer them correctly. Hey, with the diabetes thing, does it matter how long, if they've had diabetes, if they've had it for a certain period, 10 years, 15, 20 years, because it says 12 months, diagnosed or, with insulin, but is there a period of time that kind of knocks you out also if you've had it for so long?
No.
Or is it just the stipulations if it's insulin and that?
Correct. And if it's more than 3 oral medications at the time of application. So let's say they've had this policy 2 years down the road and then they had to go on insulin. It's fine. That we don't care about that. It's just at time of application. Okay.
Perfect.
Makes sense. All right, friends. So this is the cost. Okay. So this is a 68-year-old female who lives with someone over the age of 18. So there's a 7% household discount. This is what this policy costs. So remember, the base plan has 5 benefits. So it has inpatient hospitalization, 100% observation, emergency room, inpatient mental health, and transportation and lodging. For a 68-year-old female who had chose the $350 a day for 6 days, her monthly cost is $18.80 a month for the base plan. Have you guys been through Jimmy John's drive-thru lately? And I know I'm talking about McDonald's and I'm banging on it, but we all do it, right? We're all guilty of it. Our lives are crazy busy. We drive through fast food. 2 value meals at Jimmy John's is about $21, okay? So for less than 2 value meals at Jimmy John's, you can have an insurance policy to cover you for all 5 of those things, okay?
Ambulance those are gaps that, I mean, those are the gaps that are with Med Advantage, 100% for $18 a month. I mean,
right.
For a 68-year-old, where are you going to go wrong with that? I mean, take one day off of Jimmy.
You're not, exactly. And like I said, don't be afraid to say that.
Yeah, you talk about Starbucks, ambulance Starbucks. Yeah. That's not just Starbucks. Starbucks is $6. It's $5.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not $3. I mean, you can get 2. Hello.
Right. So the ambulance rider, $2.97. And then I'm going to go down to this lump sum cancer rider, a $5,000 payout, guys, $842. I don't know the last time you've been to McDonald's, but it's way more than that. Okay. So the reason that I like to show this is because it's important. And your clients aren't going to buy every rider, right? They're not. And that's okay. I have this policy and I didn't buy every rider. I bought what made sense for me now. I bought outpatient therapy with the chiropractor. I bought outpatient surgery and cancer. That's what I bought. I didn't really feel like I needed ambulance this time. But, down the road, I might change my mind. If that's the case, I'll just have to apply for a new policy, okay? So not every client's going to buy every rider. But basically, they can have the base plan with every single rider Medico offers for $53 a month. Okay, so it's inexpensive and we just have to talk about it. Okay, the plan can be sold anytime throughout the year. It doesn't just have to be during AEP. It doesn't just have to be when you're talking to them about their health products. You can go back to every single client that you have and cross-sell them a hospital indemnity at any time throughout the year. Okay, so Medico has a worksheet, which is really cool. And by the way, Dawn and Courtney, I will send you a copy of today's PowerPoint slides. And then I'll make sure that I send like a PDF of this worksheet because it's very helpful.
Perfect.
So the top portion of this worksheet just explains their current healthcare plan. So if it's a Medicare Advantage or high deductible, if your client goes into the hospital, they have to pay $350 a day. If they go in the ambulance, they have to pay $200. That just explains the top portion. The bottom portion of this form is if they had a hospital indemnity plan, what Medico would pay in that scenario, okay? So sometimes people need to see stuff in writing to believe it. So if you're not appointed, get appointed with AIM. You then have access to Medico's agent website. Tons of information out here, guys. There's customer materials. There's a hospital indemnity video that you can play to show your clients, okay? And it really just tells them everything about it. There's brochures, highlight sheets. There's an email out there already that you can copy and paste and blast to your client base if you want to, okay? So lots of information. Now, Medico only accepts applications through our MyEnroller platform. Some people are like, oh, great. No, guys, it's simple. It's web-based. So as long as you have internet or Wi-Fi on any device, you can use it, okay? You go to apply.myenroller.com. It takes you less than 5 minutes to do an application, okay? So you can do this on your desktop, your laptop, phones, tablets, iPads, whatever's being invented, right? You can do it on. There's different ways to do signatures. If you're present with your client, that's perfect. If you're not, you can do a voice authorization or you can do an email signature. Very simple, easy to walk through. Also at Medico, we built a My Medico app for our policyholders, okay? This is awesome, I have this, okay? So if your client wants instant access to their ID cards, they can download this app. When they are policyholders, we send them information how to do this, but they have instant access to ID cards. They can check claim status, they can find providers, they can look at all of your information as their agent. They can chat with us. Literally, this is an awesome app. So they can file a claim. So I also own a dental policy with Medico. So I took a picture, and I have primary insurance, but I took a picture of my primary insurance EOB and submitted it on the application. I received a check 10 days later from Medico. So that's how cool that is. Last but not least, I know sometimes we feel like we do this job for free, okay? But in addition to your commissions, we will pay you incentive money. Cross-selling is so important. And guys, if you're not cross-selling your clients, you're doing them a huge disservice, but you're also leaving a lot of extra money on the table for yourself, okay? So if you're cross-selling the hospital indemnity plan we just talked about, the dental plan, we also have a first diagnosis cancer plan. All you have to do is submit 5 qualifying applications and we start paying you. We'll start paying you $50 per application, okay? If you do 5 to 14, if you hit 15 plus, we're gonna pay you $75 per application, okay? For a premium, that's probably gonna be about $20 to $25 a month, okay? Also, if you're selling Medico's Medicare supplements, because yes, we're a Medicare supplement company as well, we will pay you, okay? And what we're gonna pay you is $125 per underwritten application once you hit 5. And then if you're doing open enrollment and guarantee issue, we will then pay you $25 per application, okay? All right.
So we do have a couple questions, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, I tell you what, this has been a great webinar. A lot of, you can't go wrong with all the stuff you put out there, especially even the bonus stuff at the end. If we get those flyers, that'd be good too. I don't know if I have them on hand, but we definitely want those. Do you need to have a scope to sell this policy?
You do not. So,
okay. You don't.
Yep. So like I said, you can sell it anytime throughout the year. However, guys, if you're selling it with a Medicare Advantage plan, the scope of appointment on the bottom, you can put in the hospital indemnity on the bottom. So you can do it at the exact same time as Medicare Advantage. Other than that, you can sell it anytime throughout the year. The only time you have to make sure it's on the scope is when you're doing your Medicare Advantage plan.
Okay. So there was a question about commission rates. I'll just let everybody know that we'll reach out to everybody and talk to you about the commission rates.
Yeah, I always say I don't get to talk commissions because I don't know what that looks like.
Just bonus money.
I can talk bonus.
So yeah, we'll reach out to everybody when we're today or later on. We'll reach out with extra questions if there's something that we have. There was a couple other things that was like the claims process and turnaround time. Like you said, there was one you had. It was like 10 days. But the process for a normal process for if they go into the hospital for 4 days, what's the claim process and then the turnaround time on getting it?
Yep. So what I always say is make sure that they send in the itemized bill with all of the diagnosis codes, okay? Because we're going to need all of that. Okay. And then the turnaround time is anywhere from 7 to 14 days.
Okay. That's easy enough. Claims process, very simple.
If we need to order records, because maybe there's a Melissa, right, where I didn't answer a health question, right? If we have to order medical records, of course, that's going to take a little longer, but we do notify the client and the agent.
Okay. Claims process, very simple though, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Goodness. Yes, claims process.
Okay, and then, for rate guides or quoting tool, is it just a quoting app or anything you guys have online? Or is there a link they can just use for like a quick link to do quotes for clients?
There is a link that they can do. So they can either do My Enroller. So My Enroller will quote everything for them. But there's also a just a quoting tool. So if you have anybody who's not appointed yet, if you want, I can email you what that web address is, but I can also tell you it's quick, so like quick, Q-U-I-C-K, quote, .myenroller.com. So quickquote.myenroller.com.
Yeah, if you would just throw that in the email for me, I'll make sure if somebody has that too.
Absolutely.
What else did I have? It's only e-applications. So the other thing was on the guarantee issue from 64 to 67. Is that available in all states, or is there some states that don't have that, or is that for all states?
No, it's available in all states. It's all states.
Because I know in like where we are, Washington, Oregon, is the full product in that one, or is there some limitations in those two states? 'Cause I know we do.
Unfortunately, Washington and Oregon are difficult.
Right, but the guarantee issue for that period is that's one I want to make sure of, because I know that our agents work in those states a lot. That's our backyard. So
let's double check.
Yeah, put her on the spot, everybody.
Yeah, put me on the spot. No,
that's what we're here for. I mean, that's our job. That's what we do every day.
And you know what?
But like I said, if it's a question that I'm not sure, I definitely get back to them. It's a great question. I need to make sure I fully give them the 100% answer. So
I'm going to go into Washington here really quick, because Washington and Oregon.
While you're doing that, everyone today, like Melissa was saying, contact us or we'll reach out to you, but make sure you do have your appointments in order. It takes a little while, but you want to be fully appointed. So if you have someone that comes in, you want to be prepared.
Absolutely, you do. All right, I'm pulling this up as we speak. So let's look.
I think there was a map you showed that showed like there was some different variations. So
yeah. Nope, you are guarantee issue. 64 to 67. Okay. So you're good.
For Oregon and Washington.
Yep.
Perfect. We like it.
Yay,
well, Melissa,
that's good news.
This has been a great webinar. I very much appreciate you coming on for us today.
Absolutely, no problem. And if you guys have any questions, this is my cell phone number. This is my email address. If you need anything, please just let me know. And I will follow up with all of the information to you and Courtney.
Perfect.
All right.
We appreciate it very much. Everyone. Yeah. It was a blessing to have you on today. Prayers for your family. Thank you guys, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Have a great day.
You too, Don. Thank you. All
right. Take care.
Bye.